Hey YouTube, this is Kerri from Razor Sharp Crafts, and I got asked about a tutorial on my file folder card. So we're going to do a quick one. Well, it probably won't be quick. I'm not going to say quick because nothing I try to do ever ends up being quick. So we're going to do one, and we're going to make it a Diamond Dies design team project. So any of the dies that I'm using you can find at diamonddies.com. They have a ton of dies over there now. I mean, oh my god. The collection is just, it's beautiful. Like, I like to just stare at them. They're so pretty. But if you use coupon code ThanksKerri, you'll get 10% off your entire order and free shipping on orders over $35. And that is US and international. So that's a great deal. You buy like, I don't know, that's like 3 to 4 dies-ish. And bam, free shipping. Especially awesome deal for you international people. So check out their website, diamonddies.com. So we're going to just go ahead and get this rolling. So let me see. I gotta, hold on. I'm trying to get the card without dropping everything on the floor. Hold on. Sorry. Didn't think that I should show it. I made this when we were doing our inspiration card hop in December. We did a card every Friday for YouTube. And so this is the, there we go, the envelope, or the file folder card, and then it's got an insert that pulls out that has your sentiment and that you write your little message on. So we're going to do one of these. But I think I'm going to do it a little differently. We'll see how it ends up turning out. So I think we're going to, I don't know. I watched another video on how I did it. Like, the lady that I watched, I can't remember who it was now. And I had actually done mine, this one had actually came out differently. Because, like, she had, like, this hump here and this, I don't remember. Oy. Hate it when I can't remember stuff, but it was a little bit different. So we're just gonna roll with it today and see what we end up with. So I've already got a piece of paper cut to 8.5 by 5.5, and we are going to score it. Anyways, we're gonna score it at 4 1/4. And then I'm going to get rid of my scoreboard. Okay. Sorry about that. There's like kids out behind my house and they shouldn't be. Interesting. Okay. So then what we're going to do is we're going to cut 3/4 of an inch off of one side. So, 3/4 of an inch cut off. Alright, and then we're going to put that away. And then we're going to need an envelope scoreboard. Either we are memory keepers or, oh gosh, Stampin' Up! That's the other one that makes it. So you're going to line your paper up at 3 inches, and then you're going to punch, right? 3 inches, and then punch. And then you're going to line this up so that your paper is right at the center of that little hump of the blade in there. So you'll end up with something like that. Alright. Then, this is going to fold like this. Okay? So, without folding it though. Alright, hold on, I'm thinking. go with where it would be the inside of it. Inside. Hold on one second. So we want that to be on this side. We're going to fold this in, and that would be on that side. So we fold it this way. Okay, I got it. Alright. This is going to be the inside of my card. So now I have it where if this is folded, then my card would be, closed. If this is folded up. So basically you're opening up your card, lining it up to 3 inches again. See, y'all just got to hear me think out my thought on how I did it. So you punch it at 3 and then punch the side off again. Alright, now we don't need that. But what I do want to do, because I'm weird like this, I like the bubble from my score to be on the inside. So what I'm going to do is just score it from the opposite side. Alright, so now I fold that like that. Alright, so now can't really see too well what's going on, but we're gonna fix that. Sorry, hold on. My little basket that holds all my boards started to fall over on me. Alright, so then what we're going to do is you're gonna line this up so that the little valley right here is directly on where your blade goes when you cut. Then you're going to very, 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 very carefully, because you don't want to cut through your tab on that other side. So just go very slow. And you'll feel when it gives when you hit that valley. And then you'll have what looks like a file tab. And then just do the same for both sides. And just go slow. Till you feel it, and then you're there. So, all I'm doing is I'm taking my bone folder and I just rub it where my cutter cuts, because it tends to like leave a little, I don't know, like a little, almost like a fold, where it's pressing the paper down into the groove as it's cutting. So I find that if you get that, just use your bone folder to flatten your paper back out. Anything like that, even like when you use dies, even some of your dies that you get, see how on the opposite side there's like that little lip, it's not rounded like it is on this side. Let's say you have to flip your die over, just rub it real good with a bone folder. I mean, it's not going to look perfect, but it will look a lot better than if that edge was there. I guess I don't quite want that much grit. All right. Then we're just gonna fold. I'm sorry, I'm just now realizing that I have Pearl-Ex on my mat here, but it's okay. It's pretty well stuck down. Alright, so now we have like that. Now, this one, where'd it go? This one is set up, it's not glued down on the edges here. It's held by just this ribbon. Because if you glue it down, you lose room on how big you can make this. So I don't glue it down. Alright. So I guess we'll just, I was going to grab my other corner chomper, but we'll just stick with the board. And I'm just going to chomp the corners of each of these sides. Gives it a little more of a finished look. Alrighty. So now, two of the dies that I know I wanted to use from Diamond Dies were the Picket Fence and the Grass Border dies. I'm like in love with these two, and especially these two together. The Picket Fence with the grass running around along the bottom of it. I find it to be awesome. So, I actually used these in another design team project for Tando Creative, because I love them so much. I was like, oh, well, I'm going to spread the word of them. I need to clean my cutting mats because I'm getting those little slivers of paper stuck to my die cuts, so I need to clean my bottom mat. So what I was hoping was this was going to be long enough to wrap around the card, but it doesn't look like it's going to be. So I have to think of something else in a manner to keep it closed. I'm trying to pick up the grass right now and it's just not coming. Yeah, they're just not long enough. So alright, well, let's go ahead and glue these on. And in the meantime, I'll be thinking of what we can do to, what we can do for a wraparound on that to get it to stay on. And I've just been using my Zig two-way glue pen to glue these down. And you could use any sort of liquid glue or put it through a Xyron. I know sometimes these types of dies can be difficult when they have, you know, lots of openings in them, but it can still be done. It's been so long since I've done a video like this. I've been pretty AWOL lately, haven't I? Sorry about that. Just anticipating heading back to the States. I'm getting really excited about that. I'm pretty well done with living in Europe. Ready to be back on my home soil. Let's see what this will do. Oops. No. I don't want to do that because it's messing it all up on the side. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this one off. I'll clean that up later. And we'll do the same on this side. was gonna leave that little sliver on there. I'm probably like way up out of your all's view and everything. I have a tendency of bringing stuff closer to my face when I'm working on it. Okay, so if you don't want to have to cut your die piece, I would recommend making your cardstock, this is 5.5, right? I would recommend going to about 5 3/4 to almost maybe 6 inches. Sorry for that noise. It's kids outside my window. I don't know what they're doing behind our house. They're not supposed to be back there. But leave it to children. Not mine. I don't know who's there. Just trying to clean this up a little bit more. Alright. And then we're gonna possibly do the grass if I can get it off my desk here. And this is what I like doing with this. And I've seen the other designers do it too, so I guess it's kind of a common thing with us all liking these two sets together. Is taking it and just putting it right along the bottom of that there fence. And putting it down just like that. Creates a beautiful little picket fence with some grass poking up. Look. Get it off of there. I'm just trimming off these overhangs. All right. These two dies I did have pre-cut because I knew I wanted to use them. So that's why it was so quick to get at these. This is just an adhesive eraser. I just got some of the adhesive on the front and I was just taking it off. Alrighty. See, I told you this wouldn't be quick because we're already at 18 minutes and we're not there yet. Alright. So, what could we use? Alright, I'm messing up everything. Alright, I'm going to stop this camera. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's been a while since I shut off the camera. This is actually the next day. I didn't end up working on trying to figure this out, and then I didn't end up having time. Sorry. I'm kicking stuff with my feet under my desk here. I didn't end up having time to come back and finish it by the time I had to put my kids to bed and all that. So this is actually the next day, and we're working on it. So what I have decided, I decided I'm going to go ahead and seal this one. I'm sorry, I'm looking for my 1/8 of an inch score tape, and this one drawer has sort of started becoming a catch-all. So I need to clean it out and organize. Alright, so I've decided I'm just going to seal it on the inside. And I'll just cut the insert down a little bit. And you know what? Maybe this score tape isn't exactly... Instead of that... I think I'm going to use some glossy accents. Just because I think I could get a thinner bead, plus it will dry, and I don't have to worry about my insert getting stuck in it. Because you know how if you use like score tape, or ATG tape or anything like that, it doesn't actually dry. Like, it's always wet, it's always sticky. So if you're putting inserts into wherever that is, it can still get caught in it. And I mean, it doesn't hold it or anything like that, but it just makes it a little bit harder to deal with. But if you use a wet glue like Glossy Accents or Scotch Quick Dry or anything like that, it actually dries. And once it's dry, it's permanent, you know. And you don't have to worry about it coming apart. And you don't have to worry about your insert getting stuck in it. I'm probably the worst multitasker ever. As you've noticed, when I'm doing something, I stumble over my words a lot. So, I'm just glad most of you still enjoy watching me, even though I do that. So, I'm just seal it up real good on the edges. And see, with using that, it made it where I have a smaller bead in there. And again, this is just my adhesive eraser. I saw a little bit of glossy accents had come up on the side there. And it seems to have taken it off. So there. Now we'll let that dry. And in the meantime, I've decided I'm going to stamp Happy Spring on here. And these are Peachy Keen stamps. PK 858 Spring Words. I got this in a little, excuse me, sorry. I got it in a little, spit the words out, Kerri. A little scrapbooking store, like a little personally owned one that was closing down in Ohio when we were there visiting family one summer. And yeah, I saw something online about their closing down, or maybe it was my mother-in-law saw that the store was there or something. I don't exactly remember how it came to be. Oh, I know what it was. I was on Peachy Keen's website because I was looking for some of their face stamps. And I was looking for, I decided to do that where you can find retailers in your area. And so I put in my mother-in-law's zip code because I was like, oh yeah, I'll just, check it out when because we were getting ready to head there on a trip. And so that's how I found this little scrapbooking store. And when I got there, they were actually having a going out of business sale. So everything was like really, really cheap. So I jumped on them. They didn't end up having any of the face stamps. But they had these ones. And I bought them because I thought they were cute. Because I like how all of the words, like every single word is its own little block. See, like every word's its own block, so you can mix and match them together. So I thought that was cool. And I'm just using, I'm using my grid here to help line the stamp up so it looks somewhat even on my block. And then I'm just using some Stays On jet black ink for stamping. Which is really funny. Like, I bought a whole bunch of colors of Stays On ink from Hobby Lobby when I was in the States last summer. And I thought that basically they were like the best ink ever to have. Excuse my head, but I'm going to get it in here. Yeah, that's where I want it. I thought they were the best stamps to have, or the ink to have, because you could use them with everything, you know? I was like, they'll stamp on everything. They're great. And then I got my Copic markers. And I was watching a video. Luckily, I hadn't started trying to use my Copics. And I was watching a video where a lady, I don't remember who it was now. The lady was talking about the, uses with Copics and all that stuff. And she actually said, do not use Stays On ink with your Copics, because your Copics will re-wet it. And the ink will bleed, and it could ruin the tips of your markers as well. And I looked over at my husband, and I'm like, wow, I'm really glad I haven't started trying to use my Copics, because, I was at him to give me crafting time in the evening so I could stamp a picture and color it, without the kids climbing on me or whatever. And so, he's all like, why? What's going on? And then I told him that my Stays On ink wouldn't work with it. And he's like, oh, wow. And when I told him it could actually ruin the markers, he's like, yeah, do not use it, because, he's seen the Copics and what they can do, and he thinks they're really cool and all. But, like any husband, basically, he's like, they're how much? Even with the deal that I get on them at Stamps Alive on Facebook, he's like, holy crap. But he's seen what he's watched. Well, he doesn't sit and watch the videos with me on YouTube, but he'll be looking over my shoulders to see what people are making and whatnot in the videos I watch. So he gets pretty amazed at what the markers can do, and he was pretty impressed with my very first drawing that I had ever done with the Copics too, so. Alright. Sorry, I always clean my stamps right after I use them if I can. So I figured since I was talking about Copics, I could take a minute and clean them. Mainly when I use the Stays On ink, I always make sure I clean them right away, because I don't want them ruined, Remember the first set of stamps I got? And the ink stained the rubber. And I almost cried. I was like, my stamp is ruined. And then they were my pink stamper stamps. And then she told me, she told me. She said in a video that the reason, I guess somebody had asked why her stamps always looked so great. And she said something about, like, she used new stamps almost all the time when she was, like, showing them for the first time or whatever. She didn't use the ones that she'd already been using that were all inked up and all that. So then I felt a lot better that it wasn't really a problem, that's what stamps were supposed to do. My husband got a good laugh out of it. And I'm sure you all will too. I do now too. So, just a fun little beginning crafter story. Like, I did everything. I bought baby wipes. I bought toddler toothbrushes and scrubbed the heck out of them. I did it all. All the stuff that people talk about, how to clean your stamp pads. And now all I use is one of these. It just opens up and it's a scrubby pad. You're supposed to be able to wash that too. I just haven't yet. And then I just use a Stays On cleaner. I got the spray, and then I got the dabber one too. But yeah, so, if you're a beginner, don't wig out if your stamps get, like, dyed with the ink, like the rubber gets dyed. It's okay. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Okay, so there's what I got, and then I went ahead and I cut these out of the mini must-haves, and it's the 3 butterflies and the bird And I also cut the flower and the petals and the little flower. I don't know if I'm going to use these or not. I got to see what I can do with it, because leaving it laid like this basically covers up all the petals. But as you've all seen, when I try to, I don't know if these ones can be rolled the way the other ones can to make a realistic rose. But as you've all seen, I suck at that. That's why I don't really use that die much. I use it to lay them flat, like laid flat flowers. But I don't know what it is. I'm just not that talented when it comes to rolling those flowers. But one of the other design team members, I want to say it was Renee. It was either Renee or Laura, I think. Did a video tutorial on how to do the flowers. And Dee, the owner of Diamond Dyes, did as well when it first came out. And that's on the Diamond Dyes channel. And I'll put the link to the tutorial that the other design team member did. I'll put it in the description box down below in case there's somebody else that's having problems trying to make realistic looking roses. Excuse me. But I'm going to watch the video and I'm going to try it again. I'm determined I am going to make a realistic rose look realistic before I'm done. So I'm just using my Zig 2A on the back of these. And just adding them. With the butterflies, what I do is I stick my nail in on the side of the body and then I fold the wing up to meet it, and then I do the exact same on the other side of the body. Then it gives you a little flat area where you can put your glue. And so you just put the glue on it and then stick it down. And then once it's dry, you can work on making sure. I just like it because it gives it a little 3D effect. Like the little butterflies are flying off the page. You'll notice I do it with a lot of my butterflies. I bend the wings up and just glue the body down. It's just a thing I do. This little one's being a pain in the butt. Alright, I'll let it dry. Yeah. I'll let it dry and then I'll fold its wings up. It's probably the best way to do it. So I know I got a good bond. But the wings aren't glued down, I'm just squishing them so that I get a good bond. So let's go ahead and make our insert. Now normally the insert would be 4 by 5 1/4. We're going to start with that. We might need to, sorry, that's me again, I can't talk and do something. We might need to trim it down, but we're going to start with the biggest that we can normally use and we'll work from there. It might still fit, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, and we're going to do this together. Alright, so we need it 4 inches. And I'm just lining that up to 4. And we need it by 5 1/4. Alright. And we're going to need to take at least 1/4 inch off. On the 5 1/4 edge. So we're going to take it down to 5 inches. So 4 inches by 5 inches is what we're at right now. And like I say, the only reason I'm having to do this is because I glued my sides down. Alright, that will fit, but it's still really tight. So we'll go down 1/8 of an inch. So now we're at 4 inches by 4 7/8 of an inch. Now let's see. Oh yeah, that fits in there nice now. So if you glue your sides down 4 inches by 4 7/8 of an inch. Then we're going to bring in our envelope punch board. And I'm just thinking, I think I want to make the tab a little bit smaller. So I'm getting it at 2.5 inches and punching, and then doing the exact same thing where you line your edge up with the bubble to get that effect. Okay, and then bringing our board back in, doing the exact same thing we did on the base of the card. Line that valley up with your where your cutting blade goes, and then cut it off. And I'm definitely glad that I went with the smaller tab, because look how it almost looks like it's outlined now, like almost like a perfect outline. Yeah. So if you're going this way, I would definitely do it at the 2.5 inches instead of at 3 like you normally do to make your file tabs. And I rounded the wrong corner, but that's okay. We'll just round all the corners. Gives it a cute little look. I meant to only round this corner, but I did this corner by accident first, so I just rounded them all. Doesn't matter to me. It still looks cute. It's still going to fit in there perfect. It might actually fit in there better. So, one thing I'm going to add. Now, you can just decorate up the front, and you could have put the happy spring on the inside. But, I don't know. Like, my family, we don't do a big Easter or anything like that. So what I was thinking, my thing with this was put the happy spring on the outside. And then have the inside be where you can write a little note. To me it's just, now I said Easter because to me spring and Easter kind of go together. A lot of people think that as well, I think. Maybe not. Could be way off with all this. But yeah, so I was just thinking, you know, put the sentiment on the outside and leave the insert for writing a little message. And then you mail this off and you're saying happy spring. I guess what I'm saying is we don't do Easter, so I'm not going to do Easter cards, but I would do a happy spring card with a little note inside. And we do, oh God, Carrie, you keep messing up. We do Easter. We're just, like, we don't get all dressed up and go to church and all that stuff. Yeah, but I'm not going to get into all that because one of the things you're not supposed to talk about is religion. So I don't talk about religion, don't talk about politics. Part of the reason I don't talk about politics, though, is I don't really know a whole lot about them. I don't follow them too much. So this is a glaze pen. And I'm going to use it to leave some little trails for the butterflies. And my head might get in the way. I have a habit when I'm writing Yeah, I have a habit when I'm writing, I get my head right over what I'm writing. And that looks pretty cool. I wish that was a little better of a circle, but hey. If I wanted it perfect, I would have bought it in a store. Right? Okay. That kind of fills in some of the empty space too. Makes it cute. I'm not going to do flight trails for the little one because to me this guy's sitting on the fence, or girl, or whatever it is. And so it shouldn't, I don't think it would have a trail if it's not flying. I wonder, alright, I'm going out on a limb here. Making little antennas for these little butterflies. Oh, I kind of screwed up the pink ones, but hey. It's all good to me. Might be able to still fix it. Here. It's got some really thick antennas. It's got thick antennas for winter. Whatever. But, oh, on the little bird, it's part of the little must-have set. And I showed this when I showed the video of them, but these two pieces go together. This is the wing for the little bird. So I put it on there, and then I just used that same black glaze pen to put a little dot on there for the eye. I didn't show that on camera, so I'm leaving the insert blank for notes. I think I might actually send this off to a family member with a little note with a hope you're doing well thing. So that's my finished card. Let's zoom in on it. That's away. I've had this camera for how long now, and I still do that every time, don't I? So there you go. The antennas need a little bit of work, but these glaze pens, the ink kind of comes out of them quick. Like, that's one thing you definitely don't have to worry about them skipping. The ink comes out pretty quick, but I like them. So there's my finished project for Diamond Dies. I do still have these flowers that I cut, but I'm not going to put them on, to be honest. I really like the way this looks. Putting the trails on there for the butterflies really helped fill it out and make it look the way I was wanting. Nice and busy. Busy, busy, busy. Busy preparing for spring. Gosh, we need it, right? So I hope you all enjoy, and I hope you create some really cool little file folder cards using my tutorial. Feel free to send me links to your videos or pictures if you do, because I always love to see when I inspire people. So, with that said, thank you all very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye-bye.